About a week and a half ago, I posted a video about selling on eBay and how you can be successful at it too. And it was mostly in response to a comment that I had saying that my results on eBay were unrealistic to what a new seller would experience on eBay. And that is somewhat of a valid point. But in that video, I talked about how you can be successful on eBay too. And a lot of it has to do with just being a good seller, right? So one of those things is how to handle messages from unhappy buyers. And I recently had an experience with a seller when I purchased some cards online. That's a perfect example of what not to do as a seller when trying to build a reputation. So let me explain what happened. I ordered these cards online. They sent them to me in a plain white envelope, which is fine. I do that all the time on eBay myself. Just take care of the cards with card savers and proper protection. And most of the time, the cards show up completely undamaged in the same condition they were when you put them in the envelope. However, being a business owner, part of the cost of doing business is sometimes things don't go according to plan. Sometimes you do everything right that you're supposed to do in properly taking care of the cards, packaging everything up properly, getting it in the mail, and somewhere along the way, USPS damages your cards. They show up to the buyer in a different condition than they were when you sold them, and your buyer asks to return it. It's the cost of doing business. Now, if you sell on eBay, the plain white envelopes have insurance as well. But what do you do when a customer messages you and says, I've got some cards that were damaged, can I do a return? Now, a lot of times they'll present it in a way as, they don't match the description of what I purchased, but that's mostly because that's the language that eBay uses in their return system. All you got to do is refund them their money, send them a prepaid postage label to return the cards to you, and you move on with your day. I actually recently had that happen myself. You just ask for some photo evidence. So the gentleman who purchased the card for me sent me some pictures showing the damage. I didn't see the damage at first, but eventually I did see the damage on the photos. Refunded him the money, sent him a label. He sent them back. I don't actually have them back yet because it just happened recently. But funny enough, around the same time as a buyer, the same situation happened to me. I bought these cards, came to me damaged, messaged the seller and said, hey, these cards are damaged. And I made it very clear that the cards were damaged in transit. I knew that when I purchased the cards, they were in good shape. It was Whatnot. I'll just say that. I bought the cards on Whatnot so I could see on the video. He did a great job of showing the condition of the cards. Bought the cards, won the auction. Anyways, I know that they were damaged in transit. They were in good shape when he sent them. So his immediate reaction was, I don't know if you buy many cards from cold states, but that's just a curve in the card from cold weather. So then I just kind of explained, hey, I buy a lot of cards. I understand what a curved card is. This is a bend. And we were cordial for the first day or two, whatever. It was fine. We went back and forth. He was questioning that it was truly damaged in transit. I showed him pictures of the card saver that had a crease in it. And eventually he just said, yeah, go ahead and send him back. And when I get him back, I'll refund you. So that's all good and well. That's fine. Where things went awry is after about almost 2 weeks from the time that I shipped those cards back to the seller, he hadn't refunded me yet. Now, he had given me an update on a Friday evening. So after mail had gone for the day, he said, hey, I don't have the cards yet. I'll refund you when they get in. Now again, at the point of my next message, it was 13 calendar days after I shipped them back to him. And when he shipped them to me, it only took 4 calendar days to get to me. And that includes a weekend. So I responded to him on Monday evening and said, hey, been almost a couple weeks now. Have you received the cards yet? He went on to post a super long reply. I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially it was, hey man, I just gave you an update. If I had the cards back, you'd get refunded. And then he went on to accuse me of lying and that I was sketchy and that, I have a business model of buying from small streamers and damaging the cards and returning them. And I hope that business model's working for you. So we went from being cordial, thought we were understanding each other, to him saying that I was accusing him of lying, him accusing me of lying, him telling me I'm scamming him out of money and that he feels gross and taken advantage of. And there are a couple of messages that covered all of those notes, but it was a complete 180 turn from how the conversations had begun. And mind you, they were not cheap cards. I mean, one was like a $2 card. The other was like a $13 or $14 card. So we're talking like 15, 16 bucks total. So again, not a tiny amount of money, but not like it's a $400 card or something, right? So the point I'm getting at is, don't accuse your buyers of lying. Don't make them feel like you're taking advantage of them, or sorry, that they're taking advantage of you on a return. Sometimes things just don't go according to plan. And I found that it seems to be most often that that's in regards to the mail. And if you're selling cards and you're trying to profit on things, you're a business, right? And sometimes the cost of doing business is things don't work out and you got to refund your buyer and make things right. It's not the buyer's responsibility to pay for something that is damaged in transit. Now, I get how it's unfortunate and not fun as a seller to have to pay that, but you are the one shipping it. You have insurance on your packages, or you should in most situations, and your reputation is the most important thing you've got as a business owner. So when I mentioned in that previous video that it's not hard to have 100% positive feedback, it's having pride in your brand. When someone places an order, package it up as quickly as you possibly can. So my routine is every night I come home from work, hang out with the family for a while. My son goes to bed. It's about 8 p.m. when he's in bed, and I can get down into the basement, start working on my business. And from 8 p.m. until I go to bed at usually around 11 p.m. or midnight, I'm listing cards, packing orders, responding to messages. Actually, a lot of times I'm responding to messages throughout the day when I have a chance. But the point I'm making is, have some pride in getting things out quickly. When someone orders something from me, it goes out the same day or the next day. So I ship everything out in the evening, those orders that came in during the day, and then the next morning, I have enough time before I leave for work that any orders that came in overnight, usually it's anywhere between 1 and 5 orders come in overnight. I package those up in the morning and drop them off at the post office with all the packages that I prepped the night before. Any orders that come in between, call it 8 a.m. and the rest of the day, unfortunately, you already missed your window for me to package it up same day, but it's gonna go out the next morning. So step 1, have some pride in getting orders fulfilled quickly. Step 2, have some pride in packaging things properly, making sure you put cards, even in plain white envelopes, in a card saver. Keep them protected. If they're going out in a bubble mailer, have some cardboard that you sandwich around the cards. Put the cards in top loaders first. Sandwich them in cardboard. Put them in the bubble mailer. And there's lots of other things that you can do to take some pride, like make sure your listings are accurate. Make sure you upload high quality photos. And the most important thing of all, when customers have issues, make it right. Yes, sometimes it's frustrating that you may lose some money on a deal because something got damaged or a card wasn't as good a condition to the buyer as it was to you. Now, I get sometimes buyers are a little too picky and you can work with them there, but you still have to be professional in the way you interact with them in messages. They're not always right. I worked in retail a long time, and the number one thing that you're taught is the customer is always right. Now, obviously the customer is not always right, but if you want to be a successful business and you want to have a good reputation, you need to make them feel like, for the most part, they're always right. You take care of them. And even if you don't agree with them, hey, sorry that you don't agree with the condition of the card. Here's a return label, send it on back, we'll give you a refund. That's fine. What's not fine is saying, you're so dumb. That doesn't fit the standards of blah, blah, blah. And this is the standards of the cards and you're wrong. Like, don't respond like that. That would be the equivalent of what this guy did to me, accusing me of lying to him about the cards being damaged, of accusing me of attacking his integrity. And it's just not the right way to go about business. There's some people out there who are rough around the edges who have very successful businesses, and that's okay. But I guarantee you those people that are rough around the edges do not handle customer interactions the way that this seller did with me. So I'm not going to say who it is. I don't want people to go bash him or give him a hard time. So that's why I'm not going to say who it is. And in fact, I actually personally was going to go back and support his channel again, because he made a comment in one of his messages where he went off the handle was he felt disgusting and taken advantage of, or something along those lines. So I just want him to not feel so bad about having to refund some cards, and show him that, hey, I understand that things happen. It wasn't on you. I'm going to come back and support you. So even though he acted irrationally and not good, I was going to go back and support him. But when I went into his channel, those of you who shop on Whatnot, you know, most of the time you can turn this setting off, but most sellers have it set up so they can see when someone enters their chat. So earlier today, entered his show because I saw he was live. I was going to try to buy some cards, support him again, just kind of, you know, water under the bridge, move on, right? I come into the show and he goes, "Hey, Covenant Cards." And then he got real quiet. He didn't say anything for, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 seconds. And all of a sudden he goes, "Nope, I can't do it. Nope. Only time I've ever had an issue in 5,000 orders. Nope, can't do it." And then all of a sudden, message pops up on my screen, says, "This show host has blocked you from viewing their content." So now don't get me wrong, there are definitely situations where I block people as well. I just thought it was kind of interesting because at the end of our conversation before this had happened, it seemed like he was moving on. He refunded me the money. He apologized for his actions, but apparently he wasn't over it and still didn't believe me. But whatever, that's okay. Like I said, there are times where I block buyers as well, and that's okay for you to do that. My main point that I wanted to talk about was you need to be professional. All of these things go into your reputation as a brand, as a business, and they are all very controllable things by you as the seller, by you as the business owner. Nobody has excuses to not be successful on eBay. Yes, it may take you longer than it did me in this instance. But remember, I've been selling on eBay for over a decade. I worked to get to this point. I didn't just flip on a switch and get there. It was over a decade of building a reputation as a good seller who does a good job on being accurate on listing, taking good photos, shipping things out quickly, responding appropriately when things don't go the way they should, and just treating your customers well. Have some pride in your business, in your brand, in your reputation, and you will also be successful. Don't be like this guy that I just shared the story about, and you will be successful no matter which platform you sell on. Whether it's your own website, Whatnot, eBay, TCG Player, doesn't matter. Treat them all like this. You will be successful. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified for future videos. Head on over to covenantcards.shop, buy my stuff, and we'll see you next time. God bless.